Welcome to the Overlook Motel, a place where underseen and unappreciated films are given their moment in the spotlight. For some reason, Dean Koontz seems to live in the shadow of Stephen King. Both are incredibly prolific authors, working within the horror and sci-fi scene, but to eschew the works of Koontz in favor of his more celebrated contemporaries means missing out on some truly terrifying books and feature film efforts. One such example is the 1995 Dean Koontz adaptation Hideaway, a tense and gripping horror-infused science fiction film with a twisty narrative that isn't afraid to get dark. When Hatch, played by Jeff Goldblum, is killed in an automobile accident, he is brought back to life through an experimental procedure. After his brush with death, however, Hatch begins to experience a frightening psychic connection with a deranged killer who has pledged his loyalty to the Dark Lord. Hatch quickly comes to the realization that his teenage daughter Regina, played by Alicia Silverstone, may be the killer's next victim, and with that notion, Hatch will stop at nothing to ensure the deranged madman is taken down, even if it costs him everything. The central mystery regarding Hatch's psychic connection to the killer is quite gripping. The way director Brett Leonard shows the viewer bits and pieces of the puzzle through Hatch's perspective, as well as from the viewpoint of the killer, is enticing. We learn enough to stay actively invested, but not so much as to give away anything prematurely. Leonard has a history directing music videos, and that's apparent here. Parts of the film have the kind of vibrant, frenetic energy commonplace in the music videos of years past. The similarities are perhaps most noticeable in the dream sequences and the visuals that accompany Hatch's visit to the afterlife. This flick boasts a stellar cast. Jeff Goldblum is a welcome presence in almost any situation, and Hideaway is no exception. He plays Hatch with an unsettling edge that is likely to keep viewers both engaged and unsettled. Jeremy Sisto is equally effective as the film's protagonist. He is written as the physical manifestation of evil, and Sisto sells that performance effortlessly, showing a good amount of versatility in a role much darker than what he's typically known for. Sisto convincingly takes on the persona of a deeply disturbed individual and delivers a chilling performance that is both memorable and haunting. Alicia Silverstone rounds out the cast as Hatch's daughter. She doesn't get a tremendous amount of screen time, but she makes the most of her turn as a teenage girl beginning to test boundaries and question authority. Silverstone mostly avoids falling into the typical rebellious teenage tropes that were so prominent in the cinema of the 90s and serves as a likable secondary protagonist. My best guess as to why Hideaway doesn't have a larger fan base is that critics weren't overly kind to it upon the film's release in 1995. Sure, the VFX work is a little cheesy, but Hideaway is intense, dark, scary, and supremely entertaining. In spite of its numerous strengths, fans have yet to get an HD physical media release of Hideaway, and that's a shame. The standard def DVD release that I own is in 4:3 aspect ratio and has no special features to speak of. It would be great to see a distributor put out a definitive edition of this severely underrated supernatural horror film. As of the publication of this post, Hideaway doesn't appear to be streaming free anywhere, but it's well worth the price of a rental if you have yet to check it out. If you opt to have a look, don't forget to let us know your thoughts in the comments section below, and we will see you next week on the Overlook Motel.